The best way to really sell is to have a community, starting with your friends.
Yes.
If you're in the luxury business, naming is important. Obviously, also branding position is important. Obviously, how you position your brand, where you position your brand, the location, how you advertise. Making money is the reason to start up a business.
Yes.
But if that's the only reason you're starting a business, then majority of the time it would fail.
Hi guys. So today I'm going to be interviewing one of the biggest jewelers in Lagos. She has been in the business for a very long time and her clientele base is mind-blowing because she sells luxury. And for someone that has attained that level of success, we all know that there's a story behind it. And today we are going to be unraveling that story. So let's go meet her.
Hi, Lynn.
Hello.
Hi. How are you, darling?
Hello. Thank you. So nice to see you.
You too. Thanks for ambushing me today.
Oh yes, I had to. Someone had to. So this is a formal introduction of my girl Mayomi. She's the owner of Meeyas Jewel. She has been in this business for a very long time. And like I said outside, for someone who has attained that level of success, there's definitely a story behind it. And we are here to unravel that story. So, Mayomi.
Honestly, she came to ambush me this morning. It wasn't planned to be this way.
I know, right?
But, yes, so my name is Mayomi Ogedengbe. I'm the creative director. Well, let's say creative behind Meeyas Link. And so Meeyas Link is a sub of, I would say, Jewelry Affair. And Jewelry Affair has been there for many years. Jewelry Affair is more popular, is what people know, which is owned by my mom. So with Meeyas, it wasn't something I would say I envisaged growing up. I've always thought I would be an investment banker all my life. Yes.
Tell me about that.
True story. And my mom coming to visit me in the UK, then traveling with her to Italy, going for exhibitions, sort of, I would say, piqued my interest a little bit. So I love what goes on behind the finished goods, like how it's being developed, how it's being created, you know, the little stones, how it's being crafted onto the metals. And this is how it really started for me. It wasn't about the money, it wasn't about, oh my God, it's gold, it's diamonds, no. And coming to Nigeria on holiday, for holidays, I come to our store sometimes. I come to help, and I see the everyday hustle and bustle that goes on in the store. And I wouldn't say it was also what I wanted to do, but like I said, seeing what goes on behind the scene is what actually made me interested in the first place.
Yeah.
And then coming back, my mom thought, okay, you know what, since you have a bit of an interest, why don't you, join me in this business? And my first instinct was to say no, because what we had was mostly, when you back when we were younger, when you think about jewelry, what do you think about?
Gold.
You think about gold, and you mostly think of the big sets our mom
used to wear
to parties. And
100.
I couldn't find a place where I could fit in that market or in that industry. But like I said, along the line, the more exhibitions I went to, the more exposure I got into the fine jewelry market, also the manufacturing market. I realized there's a space for me to, have my own designs, have my own, come into the market and create
Something that you would own.
that I would wear and I would own. Not that I wouldn't wear what I would definitely wear what my mom sells, but at the same time, it's not your everyday pieces. So originally, when Meeyas started, it started as Meeyas Gold Link. Honestly, I was just playing with words, and Meeyas was born out of the idea of creating a link between the traditional fine jewelry to the everyday contemporary luxury modern contemporary luxury pieces that, like what I'm wearing now, like what I have on now, these are things that you wear. It's luxury, but it's everyday luxury.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So I think that was where the link came from. But as Meeyas went on, obviously Meeyas is well known now. I realized I didn't need a link anymore. I definitely didn't need the gold anymore because
Yeah.
I've really shifted from just selling gold to mostly now selling pieces with diamonds.
That's
So I
amazing.
realized me having gold in the name sort of
kind of
puts me,
limited.
yeah, it puts me in a box, and so I've taken it out in just Meeyas jewels.
It's amazing. So let's talk about pricing, because I know you mentioned going on exhibitions, seeing how these things are done from scratch, and you also create your designs from scratch.
Yes, we do.
How do you put a price to what you sell in such a way that your customers are able to know that the price you're putting on your product actually is the value of what the product is? How do you put a price? What are the factors you consider?
I would say you can't necessarily put a price on luxury. Luxury is luxury, right? You can decide, at the end of the day, jewelry comes in different forms. You can decide to buy accessories if luxury is a bit too expensive.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying? So putting price on creativity, to me, I think is very hard, because how do you say what you've created is worth this amount?
Yes.
So only you can determine that, not the person that is buying. So if it's a finished goods and you're going, okay, this is, I mean, there's some elements that you have to look at. The labor that goes into it, the stones that goes into it, the kind of stones, because there are also different levels of diamonds or different levels of stones. The kind of gold that you're using, what character of gold are you using, you know. So those are the fundamental elements that determines the price of a particular piece.
Finished product is.
But then your creativity comes in it, the time it took you to develop this particular style. I mean, this ring is called the crescent ring. It took me 2.5 years to finesse it, to eventually make sure, okay, you know what, not just to make, because when I started with the design, it was a little bit zigzaggy before it became what it was.
Yeah.
I just came up with different ideas, and then eventually, maybe a year and almost 18 months later, we finalized it. And
that's a long time.
How
do you put a price to that?
How do you put a price to that? Because you can make something and then maybe the first time I made the first style I had in mind, I realized it's similar to something else that's already out there. And you want to make something, you want to have something that's a bit original to you. Something unique. Someone will look at and go, this is Meeyas. You know, it's not like when I started Meeyas, I told whoever was willing to hear that I just didn't want to be the next jewelry store. I wanted to be like, you know how you say you're going to Cartier, you're going to Bulgari, you're going to Tiffany, because you can have a jewelry store anywhere, but to create a brand and keep the brand running, it's a different thing, you know. So that's where identity comes into it. So identity is also a big part of where I'm taking Meeyas to as well. So.
Makes sense. So I know you talked about branding while you were just speaking right now. For someone who is coming into the business, or someone who's already in the business, but they actually want to scale the business, and not just scaling, but also put a brand name to what they are doing, what would be your advice to those kind of people?
First, in terms of branding, I think what you decide to name your brand is very pivotal, is very, very, very important, right? It's because you also have to think about the longevity of your business, right? Yes. So I've always known Meeyas, it's going to be Meeyas. Obviously, I just didn't know about the jewels, I didn't know about the gold.
Yes.
You know, and I felt like Meeyas is very catchy.
Oh, yes, it is.
It's extremely catchy, and it's just 2 syllables. It's not too long.
It's not a lot of words.
It's not a lot of words.
Mumble on.
Exactly. You know, just Meeyas jewels. So those are the things that I thought of when I came up with Meeyas gold link. I was thinking of, okay, it's a bit long, but you can abbreviate it to MGL. Right? And MGL sounds quick.
Yeah.
So you have to think about that. Then you also have to think about something that also sound, even in the luxury business, naming is important. Obviously, also branding position is important. Obviously, how you position your brand, where you position your brand, the location, how you advertise.
Yes.
So I would say, think about your market. Think about who, obviously that's what your market is, your target audience, you know, and also think about, if you say it out loud, what does the brand sound like?
Yeah.
What does it sound like to you when you say it out loud? Say it to different people. What do you think? You know, come up with different names and look for reasons to why you named it that name.
100%. I know you mentioned advertising because I always speak something from whenever you're talking. And you mentioned advertising, and it's really a very important aspect of building a brand or, developing yourself as an individual.
Yeah.
So I would ask you, you've been in this business for a very long time. What would you say is the best marketing strategy that has worked for you?
Instagram, social media.
Oh, really?
Yes, like Meeyas was birthed around the social media age when Instagram became a thing.
Okay.
Like I remember the first time I think Instagram was already there before Meeyas started, so it was easy. I'll say 80% of my clients have been from people who've seen
your product on Instagram.
Yes. So a lot of people the customers that I have are obviously my friends as well, people that know friends of friends, recommendation.
Yes.
Or people that Jury Affair already has, and now they're buying, softer
pieces from
pieces, everyday pieces. So I would say that was how I started. So I just went to them. So it was almost like I was marketing. So I'll take my little bag. I didn't have a lot of stock then.
Yes.
I'll just take my little bag. I'll go to their store, I'll go to their offices. This is what I have. I'll play on the fact that they're my mom's customer. I'll just be like, patronize me. Like I'm just starting. And mind you, I've never been in the marketing world.
Yes.
I'm not a sales girl.
Exactly.
So I just played on the fact, I was young, I was cute. Well, hopefully I'm still cute.
Yes,
but,
100%.
And and also presentation is everything. So I'll take my little box, wear my best wristwatches because the respect.
Yes, you have to look like what you sell.
Exactly.
100%.
So I bought like a very lovely customized jewelry box. I'll take it to them well presented. So that I'm in their office, I'm laying it down. They'll call maybe a client, one of their colleagues, come and see. I'll just be sitting down there. And once jewelry is so beautiful that once you see it, even if you don't want to buy, there'll be a piece. Especially when I've come to you at the same time.
Yes.
You won't have a choice but to buy. That was really how it started. I wasn't necessarily in the shop. I was taking my pieces around.
That makes sense. So when you said a lot of your customers come from Instagram, a lot of people would dispute that because there are lots of products that when people put out like advertisements on Instagram, they will say that their market is not on Instagram. So how do you narrow your search in such a way, or your algorithm when you are putting out your ad in such a way that you attract people that know the value of what you are selling and would be willing to patronize you? Okay,
first, the way you advertise is very important. Obviously, I don't want to say I'm so big on social media. We're still a very small team where I'm still very much in charge of what goes on social media, how it's posted, the caption. Obviously, we have a team who also does the finishing result. But in terms of even to the point where we're recording the pieces, so I'm very much involved because those things are important. So how it's been advertised, how it's been posted, your caption, it matters.
Yes.
Also, if you're using influencers, you also have to look for influencers that I would say you have to make sure they fit the brand. Their Instagram, how would you even put it? Their Instagram brand aligns
to what you are selling,
what you're selling, which means if I look at like an influencer, for instance, and she screams luxury to me, and when I say luxury, I don't necessarily mean just because she carries a designer bag so that she's loud. No, it could be someone that has even 12,000 followers, but I'm looking at her followers and I'm seeing the kind of people she has followers, and I'm seeing her friends, I'm seeing those kind of people. When they wear your pieces, is believable.
Yes.
Believability also matters when you're promoting your pieces. I don't also want to mention some people's name that I would never use because they do amazing job for other brands. Like when I say amazing, they get them like mad followers, but it just the way they promote this type of stuff does not align with my brand.
Yes.
Do you understand? So even when we are growing our followers, we're not even that much. But what we do have is organic, and it's people that I want to believe they can afford
buy what you have.
Yes. So that's very important. The way you put your stuff out there matters a lot. When I first started, I didn't think so much. I just thought, okay, it was just to take a picture, post. No, a lot goes into it. Like we have a mini studio, an editing team that does all of that, and it just the output matters a lot.
So let's talk about customer retention.
Okay.
How do you ensure that once someone buys from you today, the possibility of coming back again is high? Like, how do you retain your customer, like on a very general and a very like specific basis?
So first, it's also, it's a little bit, yeah, I don't want to say it's a little bit hard when it comes to like luxury products, because it's not something you can buy every day. But we do a lot of customer outreach, like we send in text most times when we have new products.
Okay.
We send out, so we have, like, I don't want to use the word VIP, we have like VIPs. So when I know, okay, this person likes a specific thing, once it comes in, it goes out to them first, even before it goes to the public on social media. And we don't actually post a lot. Maybe we post like 3-4 times a week, sometimes less, because obviously at the same time, when customer comes, you also want a bit of exclusivity, something that nobody has
ever seen.
Do you understand? So a lot of times we'll send them most of the things that we have, letting them know, okay, we have this, and then even before we have general sales, they get the first dips in that. There's a lot of messages that goes out once in a while to let them know, okay, this is what we're doing, promotions, and then also we make sure, maybe not for the first time, like if you're going to be regular, there's also a discount that comes with that. Also referral schemes that comes with that as well. So we do that too. So
to keep them coming back.
Yeah, and then not just coming back, bringing people.
Yes. I actually believe that in your industry, like word of mouth kind of marketing, would like go a long way. Because if I see you wearing something and I like it, you can easily refer someone.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
Like a girl, one of the ladies in our gym that has been buying recently, like so many customers, she's just between 2-3 weeks, like I can't tell you the amount of people she's brought to the store because of a particular necklace she bought from us. I'm only mentioning her because she's someone that we both know together.
So for someone who wants to go into jewelry business, do you really require a lot of money, a lot of capital for you to start out? What advice would you also give to some people? Because a lot of young people will probably want to go into jewelry business, but in the back of your head, you're like, I don't have all this money to invest. What would you tell those kind of people?
Honestly, going into trying to, I'll say break into the jewelry, or let's say the diamond market, is actually it can be quite daunting. You do need a lot of capital, but what is a lot is relative to different people.
Yes.
So I can say you need this amount of money and it's a lot for someone, but it's like, it's not a big deal.
Yes.
But I would say, even if you want to start small, first of all, I'll say in Lagos, the best way to really sell is to have a community, starting with your friends.
Yes.
I'll give you an example, which is a story my mom tells me every time. My mom, before she went into this business, she loved wearing jewelry. That was her thing. She would deck in. Head to toe in gold. Before that one became a thing. Heavy, like not the Raz looking ones, but beautiful. Like my mom was a babe. She's still a babe, but she was a babe. A babe. And all her friends, she had the source, she knew where to get it from. And all her friends, oh my God, I love this. It's like when I wear it to the gym, sometimes I love what I wear. So she's like, okay, you know what? She used to just, whenever she travels, she would not buy for her friends. She didn't used to sell it then. Shade, buy this for me. But eventually, she was just like, okay, I have the way in. Why don't I just sell to people?
Yeah.
And the profit margin obviously wasn't a lot back then, because she was doing it for sports when it started. And then it became a thing, With her though, it wasn't a necessity. This is what she loves, so it was a passion for her. But for a lot of people, I would say start with your community first. And if that doesn't even work, obviously social media is, you don't even have to put a face to the brand anymore.
Yes, 100%.
Social media will do all of that for you.
I think now that we're rounding up, I just have to ask, why do you think most people struggle to maintain their business? It's easy to start, right? But why do you think some people find it difficult to actually stabilize and then eventually scale their business and eventually still remain in the market for the very long time, especially in Nigeria, where there's a lot of economic and political turmoil going on?
I think I think I don't necessarily, I can't say for sure that this is the issue, but I think there's this thing in Nigeria that a lot of people have on, which is like being a jack of all trade. You know how there's a lot of people that want to have multiple streams of income, and you see someone, okay, I want to start wig making today, I want to start I want to have a restaurant tomorrow, I want to do this tomorrow. Like, just because you see it being successful for somebody else, you think the same will happen to you, but you don't necessarily know the sweat and the hard work that's gone into, you know, creating that business for that person. It's not just this person building it from scratch and it's successful. Like, it's a lot of thoughts and a lot of hard work that went into making that business that successful. So I don't think a lot of people actually, you know, do things they're necessarily passionate about. It could be something they're passionate about now and they think might translate to
something big later.
You know, having a successful business or brand. You know, like I said, even for me, it took me a long time. And I don't want to use the word that obviously the opportunity was there because my mom, I don't want to say obviously because my mom was there and I took that opportunity.
But that's not a guarantee.
That's not a guarantee because the opportunity could be presented to you, but the thing is, you might not be able to use it,
leverage it. You know, and use it properly.
Do you understand? And I did that, and it wasn't something I just jumped into it. I also had to. I could have said, okay, like I said, let me just go into what my mom was doing, but I wasn't passionate about that. Now I'm passionate about it. Even now, more so. Like, I love what my mom sells now. Like. I love it. Do you understand? Because now I've developed a taste for it, starting from Meeyas, you know. So it was a gradual thing, but it also took work. I went to school for it. I did a designing course. I did a jewelry course from GIA. I did all of that. And then, like I said, I was going to exhibitions, you know. But I think for some, like I said, people just start with the intention of making money. Making money is the reason to start up a business. But if that's the only reason you're starting a business, then majority of the time it will fail. If there's no passion behind it. Because then once you have a bad time, you easily let me move on to the next. Let me move on to the next. Do you understand? Like you said, you would give up. But if it's something you're passionate about, even if you give up, you always go back to it. You always go back to it.
That makes sense.
I mean, I have a cousin who has multiple restaurants now. When she started the first one, obviously it was like a mini diner. We started in her kitchen. She didn't have a chef. She and her sister, they were literally just making things in the kitchen. We're going for almost 6-7 months. We're just doing tasting over and over and over and over and over again. You know, we'll try different things, we'll try different menus, and all she was doing was just inviting her friends and her family, please taste this, please taste this, please taste this. So when the diner opened, it did well because it wasn't just her selling food. It was something they've gone through over and over again and make sure it works. You know? So I mean, that's what I'm taking my own experience to give that advice.
Of course.
You have to be passionate about it. You also have to have an identity too. You have to have your business has to have its own unique vibe as well.
It has to have soul.
It has to have soul. Exactly.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mayomi.
You're welcome.
I've gotten loads and loads of advice from you. Thank you very much.
Thanks for ambushing me today.
You're very much
Just
welcome.
what I needed. It was so nice seeing you, Linda.
So we just rounded up that interview and it was a very enlightening one. One of the key lessons that I took out from that interview is that you need to have passion for what you're doing, right? It's not just about opening a business or just chasing money. Those things are important. And Mayomi just explained that the passion she has for her work is what keeps her going, right? This passion will help you to overcome challenges, whatever setback that you have as you are moving forward in your journey. So far as you have passion for what you're doing, you'll be able to weather those storms that come your way. That's a very important lesson to take out today. And trust me, it's going to get a lot better, right? So stay tuned to this channel and do not forget to subscribe and like this video, and also just stay here. Lots more are gonna come. See ya.